And now it's time for me to introduce our special guest for today. They've started a label 5 years ago, uh, um, specializing in pop. But you know what? I might as well just let them tell you themselves. Here they are. We're celebrating with them their 5 year anniversary for Big Stir Records. It's Rex and Christina from Big Stir. Hey, welcome, y'all.
Hey, hey.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Why, look, it's a fine CD from Walker Brigade right here.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's
What's the name of the CD? Of the
The-
If
album?
only.
yeah, it's called If Only, and it's been a bit of a long time coming. We've played shows with Walker Brigade for many years.
They are tremendous live.
And,
It's
yeah.
so much power, so much fun.
Yeah, so it was we have a cat visiting us here. One of the Zed cats. We've got this record out, and it kind of is a career summation. It's got a lot of really nice bonus tracks, some kind of cool covers. I mean, when you've got a record that covers everyone from the Soft Boys to Wire to Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
It's a nice package.
Wait, what Mel Brooks song do they cover?
I'm tired from Blazing
Oh,
Sounds.
tired of being
There's a
admired.
video.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you got it.
Tired of being alone. Yes,
Yes,
there's a
I'm
wonderful
so
music video on.
tired.
Yes.
Oh wow. Yeah, I was struck by the video and the song Choker. It really it was impressive on all accounts, and I thought that I was like, wow, I need to know more about this band. But first, let's know more about Big Stir and you guys. How did it all start? How did you guys decide to start the label? Were you guys a band first? How did it work?
We were definitely a band first, and got tired of playing gigs where we were sandwiched between two bands that their people
Their
that came to
audience,
see
yeah.
them would not see us, and vice versa. So we decided to start booking our own shows, and we gave it a name. So we called it Big Stir Live.
Yeah, which is a
Um,
tribute to Big Star, the Alex Chilton's band.
Yes.
And it's sort of the guitar pop roots of the types of bands that we're playing. So that was Christina named it. Christina's named everything. Christina comes up with all the names, and we don't even question it anymore.
Well,
And it was a live series, and we had a lot of the LA bands on the scene. We got to know them really well.
Where were you guys doing the shows?
well, they started out at this kind of crazy place called the CIA, which is California
Oh
Institute of
yeah,
Abnormal
yeah,
Art.
North Hollywood.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's always
So-
been around North Hollywood and Burbank, where the label's based. We are right now.
And then we moved to Joe's Great American Bar and Grill in
Nice.
Burbank, which is now closed.
And a victim of the
Horrible,
pandemic,
horrible.
like a lot of venues.
Such a great venue too.
Yeah. Oh gosh, there are just so many great. We saw many great shows there before we, it started any of this.
Yeah.
So it was kind of our dream to be there, and we miss it a lot. But I think what the label sprung out of was that, as we were grouping these live bands together, everyone kept saying there should be, more of a scene
Mhm.
than there is now. I mean, because it was difficult to get booked, difficult to get audiences together, and once we sort of had that rolling, and sort of had a community, and we say that word community a lot, and it's also one of the things we appreciate about what you do, Gio, is that
Yeah.
there's community and musical fellowship at the core of it. And then all these bands were basically putting albums out on their own, independent, completely independently, or like it would be a label, but they were the only band on it. And our friend Steven from Plastic Soul,
We have therapy.
we have the very first Big Stir record ever come out was this one 5 years ago, and it's
Nice.
Therapy by Plastic Soul. And Steven said, well, we'll just all start saying we're on a label. you know, essentially like, it's not going to hurt anyone, and we're going to all say that we're on Big Stir Records. And then people took it seriously, and then we started to take it seriously, and we felt like this is a really good way to present the community. And Steven said, well, we'll just all start saying we're on a label. Essentially like, it's not going to hurt anyone, and we're going to all say that we're on Big Stir Records. And then people took it seriously, and then we started to take it seriously, and we felt like this is a really good way to present the community. And it became very quickly international. It sort of we did a little mini tour of the UK. We started meeting these British bands, and very quickly it was sort of like, well, if you guys are coming over here, we'll put you on our stage, and if we go over there, you'll
have a home for us.
And then pretty soon they were sort of like, well, can we be on the label too? And
everyone wants in on the party.
Right, and then pretty soon we had Swedish bands, we had German artists, we had folks from all over the U.S.
Finnish bands,
and when we've got Midwest, we've got East Coast, we've got the South with Chris Church and Steve Stokel, and it just became it sort of just manifested itself, and we had to learn how to do it, and we did, and we have, and
it's been a huge learning curve and trial by fire, and we have distribution now, which was another huge learning curve, and lots and lots and lots of spreadsheets, and tracking royalties and
publishing and all the stuff you have to do to make it legit. But we think it's great that some of that stuff that artists do every 2 years, and then the whole game changes in between their releases and stuff like that. We're in practice. Yeah. And it's our pleasure to do that stuff for them, and know who we can get things to promotionally, and set stuff up like that.
That was a huge learning curve too, trying to find everybody out there that's a DJ or a blogger or a reviewer or feature writer that is going to like our stuff. And then it just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew, and they're all part of the family now too.
Yeah, big family. It's
a big scene worldwide. I mean, it was when I first came to Los Angeles in 1996, the first day I was here, I joined a Spanish punk band, but 3 of the guys in the band had a pop band, and they were playing. The week that I arrived, they were playing this sort of the international pop.
Yeah, Overthrow, which is going on right now in Liverpool.
Yeah, a lot of our bands are in at the Cavern Club right now.
Yeah, well, we're assembling.
What was the band?
Amoeba Teen. Plastic Soul as a full band is over there. Nick Frater. So it's a mix of U.S. and Lanny Flowers from the Spider Pop.
And Danny Wilkerson.
And Danny's there as well. So we've got artists on stage in Liverpool that are from Texas, California, and then Stourbridge, Canterbury, Croydon. It's a big mix, and they're doing some other shows while they're all there together too, which we love to see. Amoeba Teen in particular has a great venue in Stourbridge, and we are doing a Big Stir show with IPO in LA.
It's a Sunday in June.
July.
A Sunday in July.
Yeah.
I forget which one. But it's going to be at
The Trip in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably our first gig as a band in a long time.
Since COVID.
Right.
How have you guys maintained the armoires while this whole thing is happening?
Well, we had a bit of fun.
Yeah. It's COVID was a challenge for everyone musically, as you'll very well know. And I think, for us, the live shows going away was, created a vacuum. And we felt like sort of privileged that we could keep things going for bands in another way because we had the label happening.
Right.
And we dove right into it deeply. How do we make things work? How do we experiment with delivering music to people, because they needed it? Music was very needed. It always is, but during that time, it was a way to connect. And when everyone was kind of in isolation, we thought it was a really cool thing for us to be able to do that, and we committed to it. And we had a busier pandemic than a lot of people as a result.
We did, but this
to keep ourselves sane as we were doing this, because it was very challenging. We had this weird idea that we would work on some songs that hadn't gotten finished, or that had maybe some new stuff, maybe some odd cover assignments and things like that. And we put them all out as singles. And we had at the time an ongoing single series that had a different band every week. And we just thought, we are the people that can be a fake band.
Yeah.
Every week, new fake band every month.
This started around Halloween, the first announcement. With Paris 1919, which is the John Cale cover, and it's ghostly. And the plan was to release all of these singles as fake bands,
different ones each time. Yeah.
And then on April 1st,
April Fool's Day,
this came out.
I said, hey, every single one of those bands, all 9 of those bands, was actually us. And here's out of nowhere. And we usually spend like 3 months building up to a release and promoting it and making sure there's coverage ahead of time. And this one we're just like, guess what? All those bands were us, and here's our album. It's already pressed. You can have it.
And the first time we got played on Little Steven's Underground Garage on Rodney Bingenheimer's show was with a band. We were a band called the Yes It Is. We did a 2020 cover, and we were a cartoon band. We had, the single cover was a cartoon band like the Archies, and so
all the bands were different genres in a sense, and they all had fake backstories and fake press releases. And this particular one was like, hey, if we get to be every kind of band, we're going to be the Archies. We're going to just be a cartoon band.
Yeah.
Did people catch on? Were people in on it, or?
Well, the story I was going to tell was that the first time we got played on Underground Garage on Rodney's show, he back announced the Yes It Is, and he said, "I love that band."
There were a small.
I didn't even know.
There were a small amount of people that were in on it, but actually we kept it really close to our vest. And you know what? One of the reasons was, Gio, is that we could bail out. I mean, if the whole thing tanked, there was culpable deniability,
It's like, oh yes, except for the car accident, they're no longer together, and
yeah, they were all. I mean, there were fake band members for all of those things. They all had their backstories.
Those are fun.
Anyways,
let me guess. So Christina named everyone.
No,
almost.
I named
Tina
and the Tiny
Potatoes.
That was
there was October Surprise, DFE, which stood for Delete Effing Everything. The Chessy System was a roots band. We did like a sort of a bluegrass thing. It was great to be able to experiment and have fun and try on different guises. But the funny thing about our band is everything always turns out sounding like us, no matter what. No, it was great fun.
No, we had fun naming the band members too. Like one of the bands was from Hamtramck, Michigan, which is where I went to high school. And so they all had names like Kowalski and it was fun.
Well, it's great. I mean, you obviously got to flex different sort of creative muscles and in a weird way grow the history of the Armoires in a different direction. So it's just not the same kind of thing, like release after release. It's like you the next thing you guys could do is just do it normal, and it's fresh.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
this last record.
It could be considered a palate cleanser.
Right.
And we also tapped a lot of the talent on the people that knew about it were the other folks on the label. That we called in, and Dolph Chaney is one of them who played on it. Michael Simmons did a ton of stuff for it. Chris Church and
Corner
Laffers sang on it. Those were the folks that knew, because we would just be like, well, we're gonna, they're gonna notice maybe. And it was kind of funny because every band did have like, a male and female singer and a viola player,
right?
Which is might be suspicious.
How many of these bands exist?
Right. Yeah. It's like us and the Velvet Underground.
Right.
And it wasn't them.
The Sybil Donate album.
Yeah.
The vinyl.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, the whole collaboration community thing is evident in this artwork. Did you not bring one? Oh my goodness.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah,
well, the Sybil Donates were buried so deep in the closet, Rex, that I just pulled this one off the wall.
Yeah, this is hanging on the office wall.
I don't know if you can see this. So
yes,
all of those. That's the community of collaborators, and they're all Big Stir artists.
Who did the artwork? It's very Mad Magazine.
Yeah,
that is the brilliant Joe Champness, who came into our orbit via Spy Genius and has done the animation on their videos as well.
And you can tell his style from that. And
he can mimic any style you can
this
imagine.
Is the Spy Genius album that's coming out. That's more Joseph Champness. And we have the magazine.
Yeah, and the magazine itself. Yeah.
That's another thing. Yeah, I love the magazine. When I see things like that, like you guys have the magazine, you have this sort of crazy idea for your album with all the collaborations. You have the single series, which kind of highlight different people every time, but still kind of keeping everyone in the orbit. And like you were saying before about sort of creating the community, but it's even more than that. I feel like it's the maintaining of it, and that's sort of the keeping it flowing. I think it's a beautiful thing. It's always inspiring, and you've definitely created a scene, which is kind of especially these days.
Yeah, anytime someone recognizes that as
it's huge for us.
The chorus, we melt.
It's a party. Look, it's like I said, from afar. Like when I first saw it, I was just like, man, I want to be. How can I be down? I want to be a part of this. This is such a fun thing, and it's. Yes. And then it's like, and then the music backs it up because it's so. I mean, this particular genre, I feel it's like I call it serious happy. It's like because it's always like the pop great. Vibe, right? It's like the pop vibe is just always uplifting and it's always kind of cheery. But the lyrics and the edge that a lot of these bands have too, the sort of the rock edge, kind of bring you back down to earth a little bit. And I don't know, it's just it's good stuff, man. And I'm so glad that you guys are out there doing this.
Thank you.
And you said that so well. I mean, I think one of the things that we always we do like the artists challenging themselves, and it is easy in the guitar pop genre to just kind of go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna do a variation on, I want to hold your hand every time out.
Right.
Those building blocks are so great, but you got to also realize that, 4 years on, even the Beatles were challenging themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't want to stay in that realm, and the artists that we work with, it's songwriting is so key, and we just love to see them challenge themselves.
And it's really, really cool when somebody comes into town to visit and they see, oh, you've got new stuff. Can I get this? Can I get that? Can I get this? And they go home and they say, oh no, now I've got to raise the bar for myself because this album is so great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we love that. And then folks will come to us. Folks that have worked with us for long enough know now that they don't have to worry about this, but we would get for a while people that are sort of like, I don't know, this next one's a little weird, guys. And we'd be like, sweet. we don't want to sell the same record over and over again from the same person, even from the same artist, and we love that. You know?
And it was I say this all the time because I just love this story, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating it again, Rex, but
it's a good story.
I was interviewed by Robbie Rist on his show, The Spoon, and he just wanted to know what it was because it's not power pop. He said it's like not power pop, but it's all got something, and I think it just like scratches the itch. You know what I mean? It scratches the itch. And I was like, exactly. That is exactly what it does, and that's exactly how we feel about it. And you know, it's pretty genreless. I mean, it's guitar pop, but you know, that's
that means a lot.
Pop craft. I think it's like pop craft. It's like
that's well said too. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's like it's respectful of the history of pop music in a way that it hits on it pushes all the right buttons, but it's also going in new directions. That you know what I mean, that kind of makes it feel fresh and still familiar at the same time.
See, we don't even have to say it now.
Right.
You just nailed it.
Yeah.
If we could say anything about ourselves, and I think our, you know, the things that we're putting forward, it, you know, increasingly say that we love having touchstones from that whole rich history, having Tony Valentino from the Standells, having the stuff
crazy.
that was Flash Cubes, and all the other of those bands from that class of 1977, and the Sponge Tones and Pez Band and Shoes, those things, they were breaking new ground then. They still sound fresh now, and that we think all of our artists are pushing that all forward too. So yeah, the having that whole continuum right there in front of you and still feeling like it's not, the well is not dry.
Right.
No.
There's new things to be done, and it's not repeating itself. So you nailed it. You know.
So thank you both once again for being here. It was amazing to have you. Congratulations on the 5 years, and I wish you at least 40 more. And please continue releasing amazing stuff and supporting independent music, which is the most important thing. I know that's it's something that's very dear to all of us, to just kind of keep the crazy people creating. So thank you. And finally, where can folks reach out to you? I'll have links displayed, of course, but where can folks find you?
Well, they can find us in record stores now.
Yeah,
this is good.
That is one of the coolest things that's happened recently. Is if you're not seeing, if you know, we've got LPs. We've got this, Nick Frater.
This one's coming out in July.
This is an exclusive for you, Gia. This is the new the coming Maple Mars LP, and this is phenomenal. The current release from Amoeba Teen. This is also, depending on when this airs, this might be announced, but yes, a new record from Spy Genius. If you're not seeing these on the shelves, all you have to do is tell your record store owner that you want to see this artist on the shelves, or see Big Stir Records. They can talk to
the Orchard Sony catalog,
the Orchard Sony representative, and they'll be able to get them there. So we love the fact that that's the case.
But we have a website, and it is www.bigstirrecords.com. And that is where most of the money goes, right to the artist.
Yeah, that's the place where you can most directly support the artist. Of course,
Bandcamp.
For folks, there's a lot. The Bandcamp community is a fantastic supporter of independent music. We're proud to be, up in there as well. Streaming everywhere. It does not hurt us or our artists whatsoever to find us even on like Amazon for the physical products and things like that. It's good to be on those charts and things like that. It's a little less money goes to us, but the profile raises. So you can find us everywhere. And, just keep tabs on us in social media, and you'll know what the new releases are and get them however And
we don't really advertise outside of social media, except for a couple of magazine ads every once in a while. So if you find your new favorite band, please tell a friend, and maybe they can tell a friend, and they'll tell
so on and so on.
We gotta figure out who y'all. Yeah. Spread the word. Big Stir, the big name in pop. There you go.
Pop outside the box.
Yeah, that's a little slogan.
That's a little slogan. Pop outside the box.
Pop
Pop
outside.
outside the box.
Yeah.
Put your hand in the box and grab it. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.